Hello, everybody. My name is Anna Zacha, and I'm the curator of Riga International Film Festival short film section, Short Riga. And this is the Q&A of our international competition's first screening, international competition number 1. I have here quite many directors and also a producer present, and we will start with the film See Me. And here we have Patty Stenger and Yvonne Kroese. I'm very sorry for my pronunciation. Maybe you can correct me. And so both of you are the directors of this animated short film. So who came up with the idea, and was it influenced by your childhood memories, or on the other side by your parenthood experience? And the other participants, if you're not ready to talk, please mute your microphone so that the sounds from your surroundings would not interfere with those who are answering the questions. So, who will start, Yvonne or Patty?
Well, I will start.
Yes.
Well, the idea was, I got the idea when I passed a kindergarten, and all the children were climbing into instruments and falling down and screaming, and their parents all are looking into their iPhone. So nobody was looking at their children. And I thought that children nowadays were little princes and princesses, because when Yvonne and I, when we were young, children were not that important. You just had to sit down and shut up. And so we were, so I thought, well, it's interesting from how is it? How are parents looking at their children nowadays? And I'm a mother too, and my daughter produced this film, so it's, I hope I did it better. But we found it interesting to see the world from the view of a little girl on a party where everybody, all the adults are just enjoying their own lives and have their own things, and where children are just not that, little Alice have to find some attention.
And that was precisely what I remember, having parties at my grandmother's house, and the whole family was there. And there was just a lot of smoke, because everybody was smoking at the time, and nobody paid attention to the children. We were just annoying. They thought we were annoying. So, and I remember the hair on the legs of my aunts, and I remember the old skin on the legs of my grandmother, because I was at that height. And above there was smoke, and there were the elderly people, and there was no connection between the two worlds. That was, in a way, it was also good, because you could live in your own fantasy world.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the technique that you have chosen? I believe it should be on purpose, this special exaggeration of some parts of the child's face, and cutout technique itself is a very, it has a very interesting, it gives a very interesting taste to the film. So can you tell us about that?
Well, that was not, we tried, we first want to make a cutout movie, but then, well, you cannot make the movements very, very good. So everything is quite flat. So then we thought, well, maybe we combine it with 3D. And we found out that it wasn't possible, because when we made it 3D, it became Disney, and we didn't want that. We wanted to keep the cutout technique.
Yeah, we want to have we want to have this edgy feeling, and also this a bit scary feeling, and also a dark feeling to it, because that's how we felt when we were children. It felt a bit alone, and it felt you could go very far into your fantasy world, which was also scary. And we thought this, if you make faces out of collage, they look scary because it doesn't fit all together. So I think that's why we choose this technique. But then, of course, we had the problem, if you make a collage, it's flat and you can't, yeah, that was a problem. So we made a combination of the two. And so we had to find a solution for this problem. And yeah, I thought we found it. We made a sort of, like when you were a child, I always did, I think a lot of people did, you made these boxes, you know, a world in a box with a collage, with the things you found on the street, with a coulisse. And so we thought we want to make something like that. So a flat but 3D world. That was the idea.
Well, you did beautifully. I must say, I fell in love first with the image and then with the story, of course. And you draw my attention, definitely. So the same as the main character got the attention of her mother. So yes. Do you think, do you have something that you would like to add that I haven't asked about?
Well, I think it's good to name the 3D producers. It's Happy Ship, and they did a lot of work. So we made it together, and it was a long way, but at the end we are very happy with it. But it was quite, for them it was very difficult to make our ideas and to make from flat to 3D. It was just an adventure.
Yeah, also because we want to have a sort of scruffy images, and they were used to very clean images. And although they did some beautiful films with more, that's why we asked them, which were not so Disney looking, and but they had to go much further in the dirty look and feel we wanted to have, and they agreed with that, and so it was a real good cooperation. They really add a lot of interesting views on a film and interesting screenshots and interesting shots, and so we are very pleased with them.
And I would like to name Kroese Stenger. She was the producer. It was her first animation film, and now she is a big animation producer, and we're very proud of her. And well, she's doing a lot of beautiful films. So
and so if you touched upon this subject, then maybe you can tell, do you have a new project in mind? What are your future plans regarding filmmaking?
Yes, we have several films now in preparing, and we hope we're going to get some money to make them. That's always well, quite different and difficult.
We've got some a grant for development of script and the character for a new Bjorknes together, so that's very nice. And I'm making a TV series with plants, animated plants right now, and talking plants, and so I'm preparing for that now. And then later on, Patty and me will start working together on this new animation, and we hope we'll get money to realize the movie.
Well, I will keep my fingers crossed, and I believe many of those who have seen your film now in Riga International Film Festival or anywhere else in the world where it's traveling, they are also hoping to see new projects coming from you. So thank you, Patty and Yvonne. I will continue with other directors present in this screening and in this Q&A. And here from Norway, we have Ania Haugsgjerd and Jarle, her producer. So maybe you can correct me. I'm so bad with last names, especially Norwegian ones. Thank you for joining us. So yes, I I would like to say something about Ania. For me, my mentor and my teacher, Torun Nayan, she has shown me your whole work, your creative endeavors. So I'm very thankful for her to do that, and also thankful to you that you have done quite great films that I have very much enjoyed. And I was very happy to see your film among the Oberhausen short film competition selections. And I'm very glad that I can show it in Riga now. So yes, just thank you for accepting the invitation. And I have a super simple question, because the film is very complex. It touches upon so many topics as and one of them is womanhood and age, and maybe you can tell about your, well, super silly inspiration. Let's say, why did you decide to make this film, and now?
Yeah. I'm not prepared of that question, but well, I am in this age, and it's my daily life, and so always I think I have made film about something that has stressed me, something I think it's unfair, or something that and now in this film it's about age, and all about it, because when you are old, well, it goes only one way, and that to the grave. and it's a kind of I think I have to accept that I am old, and also, but I will say that it's not only bad because it has also to do with some feeling freedom, not this perfectionism and the body and the face and all. I'm not an object for men's what you call it, point of view. No, I'm not.
Men's point of view.
No, I'm not an object anymore. I mean, I'm usynlig, var nå det?
Invisible.
Yeah, invisible. You are invisible when you are old in any way. But that is, of course, in many situations frustrating, or feel sorry. But in other ways, it's a kind of freedom to not have other people. Yes, to be
liberated.
Yeah.
You are liberated from whatever was bothering you at some point, apparently. But I also wanted to ask regarding, if you touched upon the subject of men's attention, do you think this, would you say that this film is mostly targeted to female audience?
It is. Yes, but I think that, of course, women in my age is that audience, of course, I have taught on, but also I think young people, men or women or hen or ham, no. Also need to see the end of our life, what's happened when we grow old and all the problem and all that. So I'm interested in see films about men and men's behaving and when they are old and all that, the problems and all that. I would like to see it. So,
well, let's hope John Smith could answer to your film. Maybe that you could. That could be a great dialogue between you and this British director. I believe his films are also very personal and beautiful. So thank you, Anna. I would like to ask also about regarding the title, and if you don't mind, I will ask about the title to your producer, Jarle. Can you tell us a little bit more about the title of the film, More Woman, More Cry?
Well, I will not go into the artistic part of it because I think Anna should do that. But More Woman, More Cry, from the beginning, when the working title was actually The Flights of the Hormones, which somehow reflects the story of the movie in a nice way. And that working title were with us until Anna one day said, no, it's going to be More Woman, More Cry. And I don't argue with the director. She has the final cut and she has the saying about everything. I had some concerns because producer concerns. So how do we include this song? It's a big famous song and it costs tens of thousands of dollars to include. So, but we got around with all the financials and all that stuff, and even with the images of Bob Marley in the movie and things like that. So as a producer, I was able to do it. But the reason Anna wanted to change the title from The Flight of the Hormones till More Woman, More Cry, maybe you can tell us that, Anna?
When I listened to No Woman, No Cry, I thought it could be a different, More Woman, More Cry, because in my family, all the women are always crying and they suffer for everything. So it's a kind of old woman character. I think always something is not and when you was young, you was missfornøyd.
Unhappy.
You was unhappy with your body. You are unhappy all this or that, and it's more a tradition, I think, with a women culture. And also when you look in the magazines and internet and all that, we shall be beauty and attractive and charming and all that, and still it's like this, that it's the man has not the same, I mean, the skin falling to the body, but it's not so easy to be. It's easier to be old, I think, for a man than for a woman, I think, because it's much because so.
Well, in this society, definitely you are, yes, I understand what you're saying, that the society is not making it easy for women to age at some point. And
it's always a crying, listen, oh no, I'm old. And every time when I met a special friend, she always said, if something get wrong, if I broken a little bit finger or something, oh, it's because it's the ages, it's the age, it's because you are old, oh, it will be worse in the future, oh, you know, always talking about illness and related to the age. So therefore, I think we should more have fun, yes, could laugh or and enjoy the old body. Yeah.
Well, we definitely did enjoy your film, and the honesty of the film, and yes, we loved it. So it's I think it is definitely helping for those who have seen it. It makes it easier. The thought of aging is now different in my eyes after the film, because this happens to everybody. We just have to
it
yes,
happens to
liberate
everyone. Everyone has to come to this point of this part of the life. Therefore, I think women or men, all of us, if we don't die young, we have to go through the same.
So, Annette, can you tell me if you're working on something new? Probably you are, or you are now on a vacation from creative endeavors.
I work in my head, not on the paper, or I haven't started with
Script?
Photograph. Also, I use my mobile when I take pictures on my iPad, but I work with relationship, not relationship. I mean, I work with on the one. I work with to feel connected to a family, to want to be close to people, and have responsible and be responsible in a group, family, and yes, and the opposite also, the contrast, the opposite, when it's too close, so you need separate something, share, separate, and to feel free, to be alone, and the question of being alone or be close, and it's a fight between these two poles. Yes. I live alone. Of course, I also like to be together with friends and be close and all that. But also, I need to be alone, and and free. I don't know.
This is something that is on our all minds, actually. You have yet again striked with your precision, let's say. So this is actually very, very important, and I think it's in all our heads at the moment, this question and this theme. And Jarle, you had something to add.
Yeah, I just would like to add, we are in development with this new movie that we call Connection and Separation, which starts, you're connected with your mother when you are born, and then start the rest of your life, you're trying to detach and being an individual. And when you're getting older, Anna claims that the network and the connections is getting more important again. And so we are trying to investigate that topic. But I would just said Anna is going to 78 years. So she's she I mean, but she is as young as anyone. When it comes to working with her, she is so full of energy. And so I'm really looking forward to getting older if I'm going the same path as you, Anna. It's, as a producer, it can be a nightmare to work with directors. But Anna is it's just a joyride. So I hope we can make many more movies. So that was just some love from me to you right now.
It's so nice to experience this from a spectator's perspective. Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Jarle. I think we have to continue with the other filmmakers, but I would I hope we meet soon one day in one festival, and we can talk more about your film, because we really loved it. So I will continue with Fading Snow, the film from Poland, and the director Ania Morawiec. Was that correct? Finally?
Yeah. Could be.
Oh no. Okay, so can you tell about this film? So this is not your first film, right? It's and have you worked with the actress before? And how did you choose the actress? And then I will have one more question.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Well, Dominique Biernet, who plays the leading role in that movie, is a friend of mine, and we know each other since for a couple of years, and we've worked together on my previous short narrative film, Planet Earth. That's the title of this movie. So we've worked couple of years before, and since that time we became friends, like close friends, so I can really count on her. So in these terms, it was pretty obvious for me that Dominika is gonna play this this role as well, and we have this way of cooperation that of course we talk a lot about the script, about the ideas, but especially within this movie, I've involved Dominika at the very first stage, at the earliest possible stage of creating this movie into the works. And I really appreciated her input in many ways. So from even the beginning, or even before the beginning of working on this movie, she was a part of it. And actually it was her who convinced me to do this particular movie and to convey this kind of story. So except from the fact that I appreciate her as an amazing actress, I also I'm very grateful for her at the very personal level for this. So yeah, but definitely that's not I hope that's not the end of our cooperation.
It's a very powerful cooperation, and well, I saw quite many dialogues in the film, and I'm not talking about the spoken word. There were contrasts between, let's say, the men, the two men that were in the film, and also, of course, contrast between her calmness and excitement in the beginning and the drama at the end of the film. So can you tell a little bit about the story? I believe that it's easy to understand, of course, but how did you come up with the story? Is it referring to some experience in your own life? I understand that you have been working with the actress on the script as well, but I'm very much interested, especially in that annoying man, young man. I'm not interested in him. I'm interested in this role, and why was he so annoying? He was terrible. I mean.
That's very interesting what you're saying, because a lot of people perceive him this way. So I'll maybe start from him. It was a typical trickster type of character that was supposed to be provocative. But you were asking about the story, not to spoil or not to close the interpretation for all the audience that's gonna see the film. What I can say is that I've always been interested in stories with an so to say escalation structure. So for me, this movie has this feeling of a nightmare. When you wake up in the morning and you remember just few flames, few pictures, few words, you basically don't maybe connect the events in a very logical cause and effect way, but somehow they are like small episodes that have something in common. And what do they have something in common? That's a question for each of you who's gonna watch the film. So I would strongly like to give the space for finding your own story in that movie, and which is basically why I'm making films so far, like to give kind of freedom to the audience, to prepare, to organize some frame only in which the viewer can feel him or herself for this couple of minutes. How the script begins, it was kind of unusual for me, because I just at one night I just wrote like 20 pages of different things, completely not connected to each other. There were like small pieces, so to say. There was a piece of dialogue, and then there was just a description of one image that I saw maybe a couple of years before. So there were some small puzzles that didn't go along with each other at the very first moment, so to say. But somehow they were important for me from different reasons. Situations, smells, interesting dialogues that I had in mind. So like small scraps, so to say, like small pieces of leftovers, sometimes leftovers, yeah, you can say. So And that was very interesting for me to discover why do I have them in head. So at some point, they formulated a kind of pretty linear story of one night, but for sure in the beginning it wasn't supposed to be this kind of linear narrative way of a storytelling. And yeah, a lot of these things happened during my life so far, happened, or I've observed them, or I've transformed this kind of emotions or images that I've experienced. I'm not very sure if that that is a reply to your question, but
it is.
I just don't want to spoil too much for the audience.
I think it depends when people choose to watch the Q&A, but I don't think it spoils anything. I think it's a beautiful commentary on this quite a long film. And in a good way, a long short that is a good long short. There are many of these in this program. So, and I wanted to ask, it does look like you're one of those directors who will probably work with features in future. Is this your plan, or you are going to stick with the shorts?
I'm not very sure. I'm not very sure, as this is the moment after the film school, after finishing the school, when everything changes. So we need to define ourselves again, so to say. And a lot of things changed already during the school. I started from mostly documentaries, and I was pretty sure I'm going to make documentaries. And then it occurred that there is a huge possibility in fiction. Something just changed in my mind. So I was making also fiction shorts with big pleasure. Right now I'm in the experimental video essay lab, so to say, studio that we're creating very strange narratives, audiovisual stuff, which is what I'm extremely inspired by. So right now I'm in the mood that I want to make video essays till the end of my life. But when it comes to, if we go down to earth, so to say, I am preparing my feature debut on like 90 minutes film. I'm writing a script right now. I'm supposed to finish this in a couple of months. So the upcoming months are going to be focused on the feature fiction. But I also have to say that this film that you're going to watch, Fading Snow, is pretty different from all the shorts that I've made so far at school, which is a proof that a film school is a place where you can experiment to find your own way for the storytelling, for the style, for what you like. I'm not very sure that I'm gonna stick to this way of storytelling. I would not like to be closed in one particular style, or at least I don't feel that I'm at the moment of my life where I could say, yeah, that's my style of storytelling. So it is an experiment to check how far can you go. So we didn't limit ourselves as well with the DOP, Tomek Wierzbicki, which I'm very grateful for his input and work, as well as with Tomek, as well as with actors, basically. We were trying to get really as far as we can. So it was also an experiment on a very expressive acting, which is on purpose.
Yeah.
Which is this very kind of old style, so to say, acting. Maybe it's because I've just watched a lot of old movies. just before writing on working on this film, but somehow I felt this inspiration for checking if that still works, like this very expressive acting.
Well, it sure did. This is why you are here. For us, it worked very well. We read a bigger story within the story that is told in the film. So, and I hope all the spectators will also be able to find their own bigger story within this film. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now we have the last, but not least, the super explosive film called 38, and Joanna Rytel, who has been a guest in Riga International Film Festival with the film and also in our jury. So now you're back, and this film in some way continues the topic that you already started with the film that you were present in Riga. So maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your research that you're doing with your creative with your films, let's say. So you're into womanhood and motherhood. And it seems like there is a lot where to dig in this theme.
But actually, this film for me is mostly about male infertility. I thought it was like interesting when men cannot admit when they are infertile. So I think it was my driving force to make this film. Actually,
that is you got me now. Yes, of course, this is yes, this is a point where it starts for me, because after well, there is no way a man can make a baby without a woman, and women kind of reacts to the fact of the man's infertility, and this is why, for me, this is still a film about children, women, and of course, as a woman, I forgot about men. I must say, I'm very sorry this time.
So yeah, the whole film is about that shame, or it's still such a taboo for men to be infertile. And also it's about the rush that women have to get pregnant when they are a certain age. Of course, that is also very unfair. So this was my two driving forces, I think.
Yes. But so can you tell a little bit more again about the scene with the baby and the seal? Alter ego.
Yes. So she created an alter ego for herself because she had like obsessions about that she could kill her baby in the belly. So to get away from it, she's pretending that she's this fat seal mom, and she's just going to get birth to a seal, and she don't have to worry about anything. And if she's a seal, she can't create cramps, because that's what she thinks is going to kill the baby. So yeah. And at the end, she's like licking her baby like animals do, but of course a seal don't have a tongue. And also she thinks that seals don't give birth to dead babies. They always would give birth to babies that going to live or not, that they are not dead. So she's like making it up.
Okay, thank you for that. This was way way more than I understood actually from watching the film once, twice, I think twice, yes. So okay, so as this is apparently the world premiere of the film in Riga International Film Festival, so then I guess I have to wish many more festivals, and I have to ask, have you are there more in your festival plans, and where are you going next after Riga International Film Festival, and will you be able to watch the film together with the audience?
I don't have any plans yet, but yeah, I hope I can go to a festival and watch it together with the audience. Would be nice.
Well, thank you for the answers, and I hope we can meet soon and talk more about the film, because apparently from this Q&A I understand that it's a very broad interpretation that you can get from the film, and we had absolutely different ones, but nevertheless I enjoyed it very much. So yes, well, thank you to all the other directors, and I guess we have to conclude this Q&A. And I will say goodbye on the screen and invite you to the screening, that online screening, to watch each other's films. And I hope we all will have a chance to be in this group, and at least part of us, and discuss them afterwards again, as one supposed to do in a film festival. Yes, thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.